Hey everyone, it's Will from Garage Built Athlete here. Today I'm doing a follow-up video on the NuRecover Ice Bath review and the Q&As and hints and tips videos that I've done previously. I occasionally get asked about cleaning the tub, emptying it out, how often, what do you do, what do you use? So I wanted to show you that today as it's time to empty out my ice bath. Been using the ice bath for 6 months. If you haven't checked out the videos previously, go have a look back on the channel. There's a review there and there's another video with a follow-up on it. So 6 months later, I am still taking ice baths 5 to 6 times a week. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've learned and also answer some of the questions that I do occasionally get. So it's time to clean out my ice bath. You're gonna know when it's time, okay? Just trust me, you'll know. But one of the first things to consider when you're getting an ice bath is where you're going to set it up. So you may be able to see in the conservatory gym, Garage Built Athlete HQ version 3, I have my ice bath set up inside under a cover. Now the reason that I wanted to do that was because I need as few barriers as possible to getting in this thing. So you will see on lots of social media, there'll be people getting into their ice baths outside. More power to them. If you have it outside, generally it's going to be cooler. The water will be a colder temperature than if you have it inside. If you do have it outside, again, just make sure it's in the shade, and I would recommend having it under a shelter. And the reason for that is if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's windy, it's just going to be one more excuse to not get in. So for me, I need 0 excuses to not get in. It's hard enough as it is, so let's not make it any harder. So mine is here, and I positioned it here specifically because there is a drain just outside that gate, and what I'm able to do is empty the water out directly into the drain. There's a ton of water in there, there's a lot. Hundreds of litres of water, and you're going to want to get that out. Believe me, if you're trying to bail it out and stick it in the sink, it's going to take a lot of trips. So ideally, what you want to do is use the supplied hose, which comes with it, and make sure that you can get that to a drain or to somewhere that you can actually empty the water out safely. Okay, here it is. I'll whip the cover off, and you can see, I mean, it's not too far gone. It's not horrendous, but after a while, the water will, it'll turn. Around the back of the tub here, we've got this tap. Now it's very tight for me, but believe me, it will make it out to that drain there. And I'm gonna use this hose, which comes with the kit, to do it. Okay, so the hose is attached. I've not started letting the water out now, and the reason for that is a good top tip that I got from somebody commenting on one of the previous videos, so I'm using it, is to mark the water level that you had it set at so you know where to fill it back up to. Seems really obvious. It wasn't to me at the first time I did it, but yeah, so get something so that you can mark the inside of the tub with where you want the water to fill to. So all I'm going to do is a piece of paper on some tape, and I'm going to tape it to the water level. So here we go, you can see the water level's there, and about there is where I want to fill to. Right, and now I've got the hose attached out to the drain, and I'm just going to turn up. And away she goes. Whilst that's draining, it is going to take a while. It's a lot of water to get rid of. I wanted to share a few things that I've learned along the way, along my 6 months of doing this. A couple of things. So the first one is get yourself a thermometer, and you can measure the temperature, obviously, of the water. If you feel like you need to bring the temperature down, you can add ice. Quite cost saver would be to fill up water bottles or have ice packs I actually use these ice cream tubs as well. So an old ice cream tub, it's got some ice packs in there that I use as well. Fill that up, put it in the freezer overnight. It'll freeze, creates 2 litres of ice, and you can pop that straight into your ice bath. Another thing to remember when you do that, if you are adding ice to your ice bath, then you're going to be increasing the amount of water in there over time. So what I do is when I've emptied the ice into the tub, I'll then fill that ice cream tub up with water from the ice bath itself. So you're taking out what you put in, so it should always be level. You can also fill things like water bottles, get them frozen, put them in. If you are going to be doing that, I recommend putting the ice in a good 10 to 15 minutes before you intend to get in, because it's not going to instantly lower that temperature down. And lots of people want to know, how long should I stay in an ice bath? How cold should it be? So the water should be cold enough that you definitely want to get out, but warm enough that you can stay in. That's kind of the ideal spot that you want this to be. Now that's going to vary from person to person. At the minute, the ice bath between 8 and 10 degrees feels cold. When it was down to 2 degrees, felt just as cold. In the summer, it creeps up, and then you start bringing that down with ice. But a good rule of thumb in terms of duration is staying in, which Colin got me onto, so thanks for this, Colin, is to be in the tub for half the amount of time as temperature. So if the temperature is 8 degrees C, get in the tub for 4 minutes. If it's 3 degrees C, go in it for 1.5 minutes. I mean, do whatever works for you, but you don't need to be in there for 20 minutes at a time. Their studies have been done that show the benefits of an ice bath. The maximum amount of benefits you can get is kind of capped at 11 minutes. So that's the minimum that you want to be doing each week. 11 minutes a week, cold immersion therapy will get you the same benefits as if you're doing it for 20 minutes or an hour or 2 hours. If you haven't got a thermometer with your tub when you buy it, then I'll put a link down below to some of the ones that I've used, and go ahead, grab one of those, save you any time, that'd be great. Now the next thing to do is think about sanitizing the water for the next however many weeks that you want to be using that same water. I would say a good 6 weeks I've had this water in, and I've added chlorine to it twice. Once when I first did it, and then 3 to 4 weeks later. But let me show you some of the chlorine products that we use and how to do that. Okay, keeping the water clean is a problem that a lot of people have. I always recommend showering before you get in. It's going to keep the water cleaner for longer, but you can also add chlorine to the water. Don't go crazy with the chlorine. If you put too much in, that's going to have a very itchy effect on your skin, so it's not going to feel very nice. So let me just show you how much I use and how I get it added into the water. So get yourself a measuring jug and some chlorine granules. I pick these up for not a lot of money. Just get a kilo of them. You can just go and run to a B&M or a Home Bargains or a B&Q. If you haven't got one of those nearby, I'll post some links down below of where you can grab this stuff from Amazon. Then you want to boil up your kettle. Okay, kettle's boiled, so add 500 ml, should do it, boiling water to your jug. Get your chlorine tablets. Do not give these a big old whiff as you open it up, because as much as I like the smell of chlorine, it's really powerful stuff. You can see, there's my camera. See there's just some granules in there. Get yourself a tablespoon or a teaspoon. If you're going to do a tablespoon, don't make it super heaped, but a good heaped teaspoon will do. Add it to your hot water. And we're just going to stir until it turns clear. It doesn't take long for it to turn clear, but you want to make sure all those granules are dissolved in here. And this will cool down, it will dissolve, and then by the time you've refilled your ice bath, you can just swirl this in to your new load of water. But yeah, you can do that as often as you feel necessary. If you see like the water starting to maybe go a little bit murky, it's not quite as clear, or they might start to lose that kind of swimming pool smell. You might want to add a bit more in. I generally tend to find that's 3 to 4 weeks, and I'm using it 5 to 6 times a week. So the water level is way down to this plug here. There's still a bit coming out, but it's not going as fast. So what I like to do, let's take this thermometer out, is give it a helping hand. Just prop it up a bit by just getting my feet underneath it and sending the water towards that plug. Now, you can pick it up and move it towards the drain. There's a second plug, which I'll show you in a minute, that will help you get rid of all that water just by having it directly over the drain. It's quite heavy still, there's quite a lot of water in there, so I'm not going to hurt myself trying to do that. I'll just slowly edge my way under the tub, pushing the water towards the outlet, and that sends it down the drain. And you can see, despite showering each time I use it, just from picking up bits of grit and things, there ends up with a decent amount of stuff that you don't want in there at the bottom, which will clean out when all the water's out. Okay, so just to speed things up a bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the last remaining bit of water in the ice bath, position it over that drain, and let this bottom plug out, and that will speed up getting rid of the last of that water. The other thing to consider is, no matter how many times I've done this, I still end up with a bit of water everywhere. So make sure you've got your setup in an area that you can afford to get a little bit wet. So now it's positioned over the drain. We're just gonna pull that plug. And help it on its way. So now the water's all out of the tub. Just got to make sure that the tap is turned to the off position, and you put that plug back in on the bottom, and then you can start cleaning it out and then refilling it. Now, quite simply, I use a household cleaner. Just give it a spray, wipe it out. Smells nice and fresh. Any old household cleaner will do. Make sure you use some absorbent towel or cloth, because you're going to want to pick up that grit and that dust that's in there. If not, you have to wait for it to dry out and then shake it all out, which I wouldn't recommend doing. There you go. Super fresh. Important thing to remember when you're cleaning it out, make sure it's nice and fresh for the next one. Don't knock off your tape mark because you're about to fill up. Before you start filling up, position it back exactly where you want it. As soon as water starts going in here, you're not going to want to be shifting it around. So tub is back in position, ready to be refilled. Got my marker of where I want to fill the water to. So now it's just a case of getting the water. I've got a couple of outside taps and hose, so I'll hook that up and start pumping it in. There we go. And we're off. Now, one recommendation I would make is spend a bit more money on a hose than I did. I got a hose from a supermarket, just on the cheap, and it's just terrible. Kinks everywhere. I'm out of breath a little bit from running around trying to undo all the kinks. So yeah, spend a little bit more money on a hose that doesn't kink up, and it'll just save you a bit of a headache every time you want to fill up the tub, which hopefully shouldn't be too often if you're following the tips. Whilst this is going in, what we'll be able to do is put the chlorine in. So I'll go grab that. Okay, so the water's going in, and then I have the chlorine, which is now nice and clear. And I'm going to put that in there now, just because the movement of the water is going to get it swirled round anyway. If you were going to do this without filling the tub up, just adding more chlorine in, just use whatever jug you've got and just swirl the water as you put the chlorine in, just to make sure it's distributed enough. But that should get distributed around nicely. Yeah, so that's it. That's how you clean it. That's how you refill it. Get it stocked up and ready to go. So there's nothing else to do but get in it now. Yeah, getting in it. Okay, let's go. So temperature's 8 degrees. So what we want to do is get in it for a good 4 minutes. And borrowed my daughter's phone just as a timer, because normally I listen to podcasts whilst I'm in here, only 4 minutes at a time, don't get through them very quick, just a distraction on my phone. But I'm obviously using my phone, so let's get a timer set up. 4 minutes on the timer. Let's go. Lots of bubbles. Now I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me in this for 4 minutes, so I'll finish up the video now. If you did want to get any of the products that I've talked about, check out the description in the comments. There'll be links there for them, including the NuRecover Ice Bath that I'm sat in right now. Get my shoulders in. Use the link, use the code in the description as well. You get yourself a discount off anything in the NuRecover store, not just ice baths. That would really help us out. If you did enjoy the content today, if you took something away from it, leave us a like, leave us a comment, let us know. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe for more garage built athlete content. I'm just going to sit here and chill, quite literally. See ya.